let's talk about the Ahool. I wanted to do a quick 45-second YouTube short about this Indonesian cryptid called the Ahool, an ape-like bat creature that's been seen in the jungles of Java. You probably have seen some of our short-form content similar to this, where we just generally talk about the overarching story of cryptids or ghosts. While doing some quick research on this topic, I've ran into kind of a wall. The one or two, depending by the source, main sightings of the Ahool seem to be accredited to a naturalist named Dr. Ernest Bartels. Now, as a paranormal investigator and podcaster, I try to get facts straight when there are actually facts to be had. Obviously, we work in a field that has a lot of dubious, putting it lightly, claims, but a sighting by a doctor, specifically a naturalist, has a lot more weight than your average Joe. So I wanted to do a quick dive in there and find out the actual facts before I put words in the mouth of a doctor that did or did not happen. And that's when I entered what's known as an internet rabbit hole from which there is no returning. So, who is Dr. Ernest Bartels? Everyone claims that he is a naturalist and ornithologist. Dog pets. Everyone claims that he is a naturalist and ornithologist. But everything I find while Googling him directs me to a book called Cryptozoology A to Z 1999, which in turn says that this story is an account from a 1966 article. Well, an article written in 1966 is a bit vague, but that's something to work with. We'll put a pin in that for right now because this is where it gets fun. The story that I mentioned earlier does mention that Ernest is the son of noted ornithologist M.E.G. Bartels. So, let's look him up. Some more Googling later, I do find an ornithologist, M.E.G. Bartels. He is a Dutch-German ornithologist who is credited with doing a lot with Javan, wait for it, avifauna, birds. He did a lot with birds. But here's where I hit a snag. This says that he only has one son, Max Bartels Jr., who, like his father, worked in Java as an ornithologist. And with a bit more digging, we actually learn that, and this has nothing to do with the Ahool, but he served in the Dutch military against the Japanese during World War II while defending Java. Unfortunately, he would die of malaria in a Japanese prison camp in 1942. Again, not relevant to the Ahool, but since I'm digging so much into his family, there should be credit given where credit is due. As I continue to dig into the Bartels, I do end up with a Dutch article for the father, M.E.G. In this article, it does, in fact, confirm that his name is Max Edward Godley Bartels. His name is M.E.G. Bartels. And he has 3 sons. He married Angelina Caroline Henrietta Marin Breacher in 1901. This couple had 3 sons, Max Bartels Jr., Ernest, and Hans. But wait, did you catch it? I'll give you a second. The wiki article spells his name E-R-N-S-T, while Cryptozoology A to Z spells it E-R-N-E-S-T. The source of my anxiety and anger this whole time could be simply a typo. I deserve this. Ugh. Not sponsored. They just own my soul. Because this caused me to go on a 10-hour deep dive to sort all this out. Because I don't know which one is right and which one is wrong. So whoever is wrong, it is my new life goal to ruin your life. Anyway, let's see what Googling Dr. Ernest Ernst Bartels and see what comes up. A Birder's Book, Eponym Dictionary of Birds, references both Ernest and Max in relation to the Java needletail. So we have 2 Bartels in Java with the correct spelling. So I could go a bit deeper, but to me, this is enough to confirm that Ernest actually existed and his name was only spelt with 1 E and he was an ornithologist in Java at the time. So we're getting there. Now knowing this, I can try to search for that 1966 article with proper name spelling in hand. And what did I find? In a Paranormal magazine, the article, The One True Batman by Ivan T. Sanderson. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because he is the person that coined the term cryptozoology. This isn't entirely a surprise. The Cryptozoology A to Z book from earlier does mention him and other notable paranormal figure, Brandon Havlumans. Specifically, it says that Brandon gave Ivan the story of Ernest in Java. So if this is Ernest's first-hand account published by Ivan, hopefully I can read it unedited and actually hear from the ornithologist himself what actually happened. But this magazine is not available online. So, end of story, end video, cut to Patreon credits. Will I ever get to the bottom of this Ahool encounter? Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. I bought the magazine from a book dealer who for some reason had like 64 in stock. Anyway, here it is. Fate, the true stories of the strange and the unknown. July 1966. And right there on the cover, The One True Batman by Ivan T. Sanderson. I wouldn't call it the greatest source of truth and integrity, but it is something. Let me tell you, after waiting 2 weeks for this magazine and having this on my mind non-stop, it's actually pretty good. It is a 8-page narration, seemingly from the first-person view of Ernest Bartels. Not only is it his encounter, but he talks about other people's encounters that were told to him throughout the narration. Do I know for sure if it is his written words or not? No. He is on the inside of the book credited as one of the authors, unlike the outside of the book, but I can see why you wouldn't do that if you are worried about cover stuff. But to summarize Ernest's alleged point of views, he does not appear to think it's some sort of ape-bat hybrid, and he more realistically thinks it's just some type of undiscovered large bat with some unique features that make it look ape-like. He even brings up deforestation might end up driving this bat out into the public more. It truly does sound like the words of a naturalist. So where does that leave us? Well, nowhere. Maybe we have a bit more appreciation for a small family of naturalists in the early 1900s that made contributions to the Javan avifauna, and also that my researching skills are not great and probably need some work. I probably missed an entire section of this story, and people are going to roast me alive in the comments for it, but that's okay. So, until next time, stay tuned, stay crazy.